Okay, it's going to be a talk through video on how to change the water pump on a 2001 Ford Ranger 3.0 liter. Okay, we're working on a 3.0 6-cylinder. We're going to change the water pump. The first thing you'll want to do is disconnect your battery. Then we're going to take off the air intake. You'll undo the two clips here, one on the back, and you'll take this out. I would unplug this, pull this out, and then you'll have a flathead that you'll have to unscrew here. Pull this out of the way to give you a little more access. The next thing I would do is go ahead and drain your radiator, and you can use the bottom hose or you can use the drain on the other side. The hose is just a lot faster. Undo your two transmission cooling lines, and you can undo the other hose on the other side as well. Now you'll have to get ready to take the fan and shroud out next. So when removing the fan, you turn it clockwise to remove it. You can use a crescent wrench on the shaft there, and you'll hold that pulley with a strap wrench or a twisted belt, as I've shown you before. But remember, this turns clockwise to unscrew. An offset wrench works real well. You can push down on this and it loosens the entire belt. Now we were going to change the belt anyway, so we took the belt, wrapped it around the pulley while it was on the water pump, and twisted it really tight with a wrench. This acted like a homemade strap wrench, but it worked great. Two 10mm at the top, one over here and one here, and you can pull the shroud out with the fan. Bolts holding the radiator at the top here and here. 10mm. Just go ahead and remove the radiator, get it out of your way. Okay, in order to get to your water pump bolts, you have to take the air conditioner, power steering pump, and tensioner bracket loose. This is probably the hardest part of the job. You can start by taking two bolts loose on the bottom. They're down there. I've got the light shining on one there, and another one there. Okay, so you'll take those out. Okay, there are actually two more bolts in the front of this. One is behind this and one is behind the tensioner, which you have to get to from the bottom. Those two bolts are very well hidden and hard to get to. Okay, once you've taken the two bolts out of the front that are hard to get to there, and the two bolts in the back that are a little easier to get to, you can then undo this bolt here. Once you've done that, this whole assembly will be loose. What we've done is we've tied this tensioner up with a strap to the hood and just pulled it up for a couple of inches. That's really all you need to get to the bolts in the water pump. Now, this is what the water pump will look like in the truck. There's 7 13mm and 5 8mm bolts. And be sure you clean all the old gasket material off of the truck. We actually used a little bit of sealant to hold the gasket in place. put all the bolts back in, and then it's a matter of reassembly. Once you've got the water pump changed out, it's a matter of reassembly. Put this air conditioning power steering section back together with the 5 bolts. Put your pulley on. Put your belt in place. And then you can start installing your radiator, fan shroud, and put your air intake back together.